The War Within. Understanding Depression. A Pizzaverse Studios production. The Battle No One Sees. They say war changes people. But what if the battlefield is your own mind? No explosions. No soldiers. Just silence. A silence that don't stop. Depression ain't just sadness. It's absence. The absence of color, of flavor, of meaning. You wake up, but you don't arrive. You move, but you ain't alive. It's not about crying. It's about nothing. The kind of nothing that eats you whole. And in a world where everyone's posting, smiles, and filters, no one wants to admit they're fighting for their life in silence. This is the war within. What is depression? Depression ain't weakness. It ain't drama. It ain't just a bad day. It's a medical, psychological, and emotional collapse. Psychologists call it major depressive disorder, MDD. But for the people living it, it's a fog. A weight. A thick black cloud that don't lift no matter how bright the sun shines. It hijacks how you think, how you feel, how you move. It changes sleep, appetite, energy, even memory. Your brain becomes your cage. And the cruelest part? It lies to you. It whispers, you're worthless. You're alone. It'll never change. But here's the truth. Depression don't speak truth. It speaks pain. And pain ain't who you are. It's just where you've been. The roots of the darkness. Where does it come from? There ain't one answer. There's a web. For some, it's biological. The chemistry's off. Neurotransmitters misfiring. Serotonin, dopamine, norepinephrine. The brain's emotional gears grinding in chaos. For others, it's environmental. Trauma, neglect, heartbreak, chronic stress. You get worn down until your spirit just stops fighting. Then there's genetic predisposition. If it runs in the bloodline, it might run in your veins too. And sometimes it's all of the above. The perfect storm. Depression don't need permission. It just walks in, sits on your chest, and don't leave. How depression changes the brain. Science has come a long way in showing how this disorder rewires us. The hippocampus, which handles memory and mood, shrinks under chronic stress. The amygdala, the brain's fear center, grows more active, flooding the body with anxiety. The prefrontal cortex, responsible for logic and control, goes quiet, making it harder to plan, focus, or find hope. This ain't laziness. This ain't lack of willpower. It's a malfunctioning machine, and you can't hate yourself for something that's broken. Symptoms. The quiet signals. Depression wears many masks. Some people cry all day. Others don't shed a tear. Here's what it looks like beneath the silence. Constant fatigue, like your soul's carrying concrete. Loss of interest in the things you used to love. Changes in appetite, eaten in too much or not at all. Sleep disturbances, either can't get up or can't go down. Feelings of guilt, hopelessness, or emptiness. Physical pain with no medical cause. Thoughts of death, or feeling like life don't matter. And the worst part? You start blaming yourself for feeling that way. But depression's trick is making you think you are the problem, when it's really the illness whispering through your own voice. Invisible struggle, living with depression. You smile so people stop asking questions. You show up to work. You joke around. But inside, it's hollow. You're surrounded by people, but you never felt lonelier. Every day becomes survival. Just getting out of bed feels like lifting a mountain. You're alive, but you ain't living. And the cruelest thing? Nobody notices. You could be the one who has it all: money, fame, family, and still feel empty. 'Cause depression don't care who you are. It just wants to win. Types of depression. Not all darkness looks the same. 1. Major depressive disorder, MDD. Long-term, severe episodes of sadness and loss of function. 2. Persistent depressive disorder, dysthymia. A chronic, lower-grade sadness that lasts for years. 3. Bipolar depression, alternating between mania, high energy, and deep depressive crashes. 4. Seasonal affective disorder, SAD, triggered by lack of sunlight, often in winter months. The pain lies, but the world don't. You ain't weak for struggling. You're human for surviving. Finding light in the war within. Healing don't mean the darkness disappears. It means you learn to walk through it and find beauty anyway. Every sunrise you see is proof you're winning. Every laugh that feels real again is progress. Every bad day survived is a victory. You start realizing you were never the darkness. You were always the fighter trapped inside it. The war within ain't about killing the pain. It's about learning to live with it. To carry it with grace. To let it shape you, but not define you. The survivor's creed. If you're watching this, maybe you're in that place. Maybe you're tired. Maybe you're done pretending. But hear me. You ain't broken. You're battle-tested. You don't need to be fixed. You need to be understood. Your story don't end in despair. It ends in resilience. Every scar, that's a survival note. Every tear, proof you still care. And someday, when you look back, you'll realize you weren't fighting to survive. You were fighting to live. This has been The War Within, Understanding Depression. A Pizzaverse Studios educational documentary. Written and directed by Bambi Palermo. Dedicated to anyone fighting their own invisible war. If you or someone you know is struggling, reach out to a licensed mental health professional or call your local hotline. You ain't alone. Not today. Not ever. Subscribe to Bambi Palermo's Pizzaverse for more stories of truth, resilience, and redemption. 'Cause around here, we don't fake it for the camera. We face it head on. And remember, the war within don't define ya. Surviving it does.